Hi everyone, Armored Pants here, and I have another advanced Blitz gaming tutorial for you. This is number 6 and it is number 3 in terms of our in-game decision making series. Now this is something new. It's sort of a different concept. We tried it before with 2 previous videos. The feedback was excellent. You guys said you really enjoyed it, you found it very useful. So we decided we would do it again. The basic concept behind it is that it should make it easier to learn. So rather than just watching standard video where me or any other YouTuber just talks, we tried to make this different. And the main difference is that we want to be interactive. So rather than you just watching the video and being passive, we want you to be active. We want you to be interactive, to participate in the video. And how does that work? Well, it's a pretty simple concept. It's not rocket science. Very easy. Exactly the same concept as we used before. We're going to take some timeouts during the video. So I'm going to ask you to hit pause at particular points in the game. And before I make key decisions in the game, before I do things which are going to influence the game either positively or negatively, I'm going to ask you to hit pause. Here's the pause button here, and ask you what would you do. Then we'll go back into the game, see if what you do is the same as what I did. I'll explain why I did it. We can compare notes. You're going to get a little bit of homework, of course, because you have to make a note either on a piece of paper, on your iPad, on your phone, on your laptop, or even just mentally as to what you would do. Then we go back into the game and see, okay, did I do the same as Armored Pants? Did I do it something differently? I'll explain to you what I did and why I did it, and then we can compare notes. Simple. Now this is the gameplay we're going to have a look at is an SU-130P, the Scarface tank destroyer. This is the first tank destroyer we've actually had a look at in this decision making series, and it's on the map Castilla. So obviously the start of the game, right? Crucial, right? We're looking at the setup here. So we're in the in-game intro, awaiting players. Battle's going to start in 7 seconds. So this is obviously the first decision, right? You've had a look at the setup, count the fast movers, the heavies. This is your first piece of homework. What are the key activities? So what should you be doing during the countdown? Which direction should you then go? What's your battle plan for the game? It's your first key decision in the game. So what I'm going to ask you to do now, guys, is think about that homework, hit pause, and then what we're going to do is go back into the game and have a look at what decisions I made. So hit pause whenever you're ready and start your first exercise. Okay guys, and we're back in the game. Now, this decision I make now may or may not surprise you. So you're probably thinking, okay, gonna go up here and adopt a standard TD position on this map. But no, I'm going to push on past and I'm going to go up here into the town and stop on the crest of the hill here. And I guess the key decision in this game is, why am I moving here? What's the plan? So now that you know where I'm going, I'd ask you to hit pause again and have a think about, okay, why did he go there? What was the thinking behind that? And let's see if our thinking matches up. And we're back in the game. And basically what I was thinking was there, I want to cover both C and B. I had a look at the setup, saw the type of tanks that there's going to be. So I thought that it would be good for me to go into a position where I can cover both C and B, stop the enemy capturing them. And I can open up fields of fire and I can put in shots like that one on the IS-6. Now, I've been spotted. So I'm going to ask you to hit pause again. So I've been spotted. They know I'm here now. What would you do now in this situation? So hit pause, have a think about it, and we'll talk to you back in game. Welcome back, guys. So, basically what I do is I reset camo, right? So, it takes about 11 seconds, 10.9 seconds to reset camo. So I reset camo, I'm unspotted again, and then I'm able to make that kill shot on the IS-3. Now, I'm going to ask you to hit pause again here, because we see now there's a light tank, the FV behind me. He spotted me up. So again, the key question is what now? What to do now at this point in the game? Welcome back. Well, what I decided to do is I decided to switch direction and I decided to reset camo again. Reset, I'm unspotted, and I'm going to go out and engage him. There it is. Nice shot. Smash one into him. And I'm going back to reset camo again. Now, what now? Do I continue to engage him, or do I turn around and engage the enemy at B or at C? So hit pause and let me know what you decide to do. Welcome back. Well, I actually decided not to continue to engage him. And in actuality, it seems that was a good decision because he's actually going to pop up here now towards B. The whole point of me moving into this position at the start was so that I could cover B and C. So I decided to move back and see if I can cover B or C and support my allies there. Now we see there's a lot of tanks coming on to B. And I fluff a shot here. So now the question is what to do next. So I'm going to ask you to hit pause. And I guess the key question is, guys, do I stay in cover, try to snipe, try to farm some damage, or do I actually leave cover, break out and try to support my team at either B or C? Welcome back to the game, and I actually decide to stay in cover, partially because there's a lot of targets presenting themselves in front of me like this, and that is the reward kill, and also because I don't really have much armor, so going out into the open at this point might be suicide, and I judged it better to stay where I was and to keep my hit points and to support my team. And as you saw, I got my reward there with 1 kill. Now the point is, though, I've had that kill, targets are moving away, so now should I break cover now or still remain where I am? And I decided to stay where I am, stay in cover, and here's my reward. Nice shot, nice alpha roll into the Panzer nuts. But now we can see that the Reds were moving away, so again the question is, should I stay or should I go? You know, as the Clash would say, you know, that's the question. So what do you think? And let's have a look when we come back into gameplay. Well, you know, I decide to move now. There's no targets in front of me, and as we've discussed before, when you are staying in one site and there are targets, you're sniping. When you're staying in one site and there's no targets, you're just camping. Sniping is a positive action, helps your team. Camping is not being active at all. So now we see where the targets are. So I guess the key question is, when you hit pause, do I go down into the valley, down the slope out of the town, to engage the enemy because there's a lot of targets down there, or do I try to remain in cover and try to pick off targets without exposing myself and losing hit points? Welcome back. Well, I decided to stay out of trouble. Why? Well, this is a tequila tank. We just did a review of it. What tequila tank, what does that mean? Well, it means 3 shots and you're dead, right? And if I go down there, there's 3 tanks there, so I've got 3 targets, but it also means there's 3 tanks that can hit me. I've got no armor whatsoever. So I judge the best thing to do is to use the gun depression on this tank and use its speed, maneuverability, and try to put in some shots. And of course I lost my ally, although he did exactly what I was going to do, or the option I had, which was to go down there. He did that and he died, and now it's a 1v2 situation. So now I'm going to ask you to hit pause again, and the key question is here, now what to do? Do I go and engage the enemy? Do I try to find a sniping position? What would you do in this situation? So hit pause and I'll talk to you back in game. Welcome back. Well, I think the decision I make here is probably going to surprise some of you, but maybe not those of you who watch my games or videos regularly and know the lessons I talk about in supremacy. But I'm going to go to cap A. Why? Well, it's the base that the enemy has. So I'm going to take points away from them while still gaining points, and supremacy is all about points. It puts more pressure on them. But secondly, I know that neither of those tanks are fast or maneuverable, and even though the Super Pershing is there, which is medium tank, and has a terrible power to weight ratio, it's not so agile and maneuverable. It doesn't get them around the map quickly. So I'm going to go to A and I'm going to cap their base, and probably that's a surprise for you, right? You probably didn't think that's what I would do. But now that I've captured the base, the question is what next? Do I go to try to capture another base? Do I go to protect a base? Do I go to engage the enemy? Given the attributes of the tank, its speed, its good gun, but its lack of armor, what would you do? Let's see when we get back in game. Welcome back. And what I decided to do is I decided to go towards C. Why? Well, I'm looking at the base counter, and I see that they're at C. So now I know where they are. They think they know where I am. They think they're safe because they think I'm at A. But you can see here now that I've captured it. I'm winning on points. I know where they are. They don't know where I am, or at least they think they know where I am, but they're not sure. So the question is now we're winning on points. We've got an advantage on bases. What to do next, given that we know pretty much where at least one of the enemy is. So have a think about that. I'll see you back in game. Well, you know, guys, those of you who watch my videos already know I'm a pretty aggressive blitzer, so I decided to go towards C. I know at least one of them is there, and I see if we're going to get a kill, and yes, I do. Bam! Lovely kill, nice headshot. Now, this is another thing about the tank I have. I know that the gun I have is one of the few tanks at tier 8 we can actually make a shot like that onto the very heavily armoured turret. I have the super pershing, but with the gun depression and the attributes I have in that tank, I know I can do that. And not every tank could do that. So it's also about knowing the tank you're in. If it was in a different tank, I probably would have made a different decision. But now that we've made that decision, I've taken out the super pershing. It's 1v1 now. Now, what next? What do you think we should do next? Talk to you back in game. Welcome back. Well, actually, you know, with the enemy tank here, he actually smashes one into me. So didn't have a chance to make much of a decision, but now I do. Now it's fight or flight. Do I use the speed of my tank to get away? Do I try to reset camo, or do I engage? What would you do? The decision is yours. Have a think about it. I'll talk to you back in game. Well, I decided to put a round into him. I know that he just fired, but what I didn't think was that he dropped adrenaline, which he had, so he put another one into me. So I'm probably a one shot for him now. He's a one shot for me. So this game is on a knife edge. I probably made the wrong decision there. I probably should have run, conserved my hit points. But now I am where I am. So now the question is what to do now. We're a one shot probably each. I'm a HE round for him. He's any round for me. What to do next. So hit pause. See you back in game. Well, I've learned my lesson from what I should have done the previous time. And you can see now I'm actually unspotted. He doesn't have line of sight. I've reset my camo, so now I run. So this time it is flight, but not flight for the sake of it. It's flight to fight. They're two bases up. I know I need to take him out now. But he thinks he knows where I am, but I know definitely where he is. And it turns out that was the right decision. I'm going to have a look at that again, because the decision here is all about knowing the attributes of the tank I have. Now, I know that I can get around really quickly with my speed, my power to weight ratio, my maneuverability. I can get around really quickly, and look, he is not expecting it. And you'll see when we look at the rest of the game, as it plays out, he actually even says fast, because he was not expecting me to get around that quickly. I'm slowing this down because not because there's anything particularly interesting to see here. I just want to go through the decision-making process here. You know, decision making is, you know, about understanding the things that you have done up to here in the game. And I made a mistake. I probably should have run instead of engaging in front on in the previous segment of play. But now I know, I've learned from that, but I also know my tank. I know how fast it is. I know the power to weight ratio. I know his maneuverability. I know his speed. And I know I have a really good chance of coming up here behind him. And I know he's a one shot. And I'm behind, and now he's at the side. Take my time, I have all the time in the world, and I clear him off. And you can see here, as we said, he then just says fast. Because he knew that, you know, I had played to the attributes of that tank in that situation, gotten around behind him. He definitely wasn't expecting it. He was expecting me to be somewhere around that corner. He was coming around with his frontal armor and was hoping that he might win the game. So I think this game, was a very good illustration of decision making in game. I would imagine that some of the decisions I made for example, running to capture A that time probably took you by surprise. Maybe the initial positioning of my tank going to cover B and C might have taken you by surprise. And that's why I thought I would share this game with you, because I thought, there's some unusual decisions there, but I thought it'd be good for me to discuss and to talk to you about why I made those decisions, not just about what's going on in game, but also understanding the attributes of the tank I'm playing and those of the tanks I'm playing against. As in the last scene where we knew that the Jagdtiger was slow and not maneuverable. So let's have a recap. Look, I think you probably understand now from some of the decisions you were making, and if you've looked at the other videos as well, that different players think differently. You may have made different decisions, but that doesn't mean you wouldn't have won this game, or maybe even have done better and gotten a mastery badge. Winning is the goal, and there's always more than one way to win. In-game decision making, though, is key, because it determines whether you win or lose, whether you play well or play badly, whether your team plays badly in many cases. And you need to understand the map type, your tank type, and then the red's positioning in the map, the attributes of your tank. And different players will think differently, right? There's nothing wrong with that. The key thing is to be thinking. Because when you're thinking, when you're assessing your tank, the opposition tank, their position, is it supremacy, is it encounter, all these different things will lead you to make decisions. And once you have information behind your decision, it becomes an informed decision. And if you have a reason for doing what you do, then it's more than likely, it's not always going to be the case, but it's more than likely you'll make the right decision and will lead to a better game. And thinking is the key to Blitz. It's a complex, difficult game with lots of algorithms, lots of maths, lots of different parameters behind it. But thinking is the key to being a better player. Understanding the dynamics of the game and having a reason behind what you do is the key to becoming a better player. Are you going to win every game? No. Are you instantaneously going to be a better player? No. Are you always going to make the right decision? No. But once you start thinking, you're on the road to being a better player. So cheers, Mush. Thanks for watching. Please give me feedback. Please let me know if this video was useful, if you like the format, if you want to continue. The previous two videos were very successful. Let me know if I've done as good a job with this one. I always hope I do, but of course, always willing to learn. I'm always thinking. I always want to get your feedback. You can leave it in the comment section, or you can email me on armoredpants@gmail.com, or you can contact me on Facebook. The Facebook page is at WOTB Gameplay, at World of Tank Blitz Gameplay on Facebook, and I usually reply to the messages there pretty quickly. So cheers, Mush. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful. Hope you found it enjoyable. Looking forward to hearing from you, and remember, thinking is winning. Cheers, guys. Take care. Talk to you soon. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, pants off.